Well, hi, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is Senior Cadillac Sales Director Jordan Eicher, calling in with your Wednesday wisdom from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the first day of a new quarter, and I want to congratulate you. If you were a star consultant, finished your star last night. What an accomplishment. One of the oldest, if not the oldest, program in all of Mary Kay, developed by our very own founder, Mary Kay Ash. With that Star Consultant program, it was so important to her. And here we are still achieving it, still teaching it, still implementing it 50, almost 60 years later. Oh, my goodness. So I just want to praise you if you were a Star Consultant and congratulate you. What prize are you getting? What are you going to do with it? And how are you going to beat your best this quarter? Well, we have 2 weeks left. It's finally the 2-week countdown until June 30th, the end of our seminar year. And so who better to hear from? Who better to encourage us to believe that we have enough time to do whatever it is that we're wanting and stretching to do, that we have what it takes to do whatever it is that we're wanting and stretching to do than our founder, Mary Kay Ash. Mary Kay's own words from a book I have called From the Heart say, if you think you can, you can. Mary Kay says there's an interesting story about a psychology professor who decided to conduct an experiment with 2 of his brightest students. He called them in together and gave each of them 6 white rats. He told them he wanted them to see what they could teach those rats to do in 1 month. To one student, he said, you are lucky because your rats have been bred with extraordinary genes. In 1 month, I expect you to have them doing anything a dog can be taught to do. Roll over, sit up, play dead. To the other student, he explained that his rats were just ordinary dumb rats and that the possibility of teaching them anything was remote. After 1 month, both students returned with their rats. The first student was ecstatic with his results. His rats performed like trained troopers. They could sit up, roll over, and play dead on command. The second student said to the professor, Professor, you were absolutely right about my rats. They are so dumb, they stay huddled in a corner. They won't even come for food. I couldn't teach them anything. The professor smiled and said, this was an experiment. All 12 of those rats were exactly the same. The only difference was that one of you thought you could and the other thought you couldn't. The old adage, if you think you can, had been proven again. You can do everything right with the wrong attitude and fail. But you can do everything wrong with the right attitude and succeed. The greatest undeveloped territory in the whole world is right in your head. Your imaginative can-do thinking can open untold doors. Read books to condition your attitude. Some that I recommend are Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Though written years ago, these remain some of the best motivational books on the market today. Show me a person who's made it big, and I'll show you someone who had a lot of reasons not to make it at all. Franklin D. Roosevelt, crippled by polio. Helen Keller, blind, deaf, and mute. And former President Andrew Jackson, unable to read and write until he was married. His wife taught him how. Their attitudes controlled their altitudes in life. Learn to make lemonade out of life's lemons. If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. Well, you guys, Mary Kay was famous for saying that. And I wanted you to hear the backstory on where that came from, because the last 2 weeks of June are such a mind championship. They are a championship of the mind. They are a chance for you to prove to yourself that you can do things that you don't really believe are possible if you think you can. You know, I will never forget many different years in my Mary Kay business where I was trying to do something impossible in the month of June. Something impossible meaning I had never done it before. Not only had I never done it before, I'd never done anything close to it before. Our unit had never achieved close to things that we did in June before. And so on paper, it was impossible because there wasn't any proof that we could get close to our goal or definitely not cross our goal or blow past our goal. But what was incredible was I had conditioned my mind. I'd watched others who had achieved miracles in June. I had seen mentors who had achieved seemingly impossible things in June. And so I thought, if she can do it, I can do it. If they could do it, we can do it. If her unit can achieve it, my unit can achieve it. And I just kept eating the elephant one bite at a time. I planned my work and I worked my plan. I exhausted every opportunity for June, for especially the last 2 weeks. And I just kept going, even though I wasn't sure if we could achieve it. So if you're feeling unsure, if you're feeling like it might be impossible, just remember those rats. Remember that your mind is the most undeveloped territory in the world, according to Mary Kay Ash, and that there is room for you to become one of those people that does the impossible. If you think you can, you can. And I believe, and I know Mary Kay Ash believes, that you are the woman for the job. God bless you, and I'll be back with you again next Wednesday. Bye-bye.